Trent Alexander-Arnold arrived in Madrid this summer amid flashing cameras and headline proclamations that a generational playmaker had joined one of football's great dynasties. The club's official announcement confirmed a deal that carried huge expectation and immediate scrutiny. The unveiling offered a different beat. Trent answered questions and even spoke snippets of Spanish, a public sign that he had been preparing for a cultural shift. Yet those public moments have not erased the quieter reality of daily life inside a dressing room where Spanish is the default. On the training pitch, his range of passing and his crossing remain unmistakably his own, the same instincts that made him a Liverpool talisman. But away from drills, the conversations move faster than his current comprehension and small jokes. Nicknames and tactical shorthand become obstacles to intimacy. He has naturally gravitated toward English-speaking teammates, most notably Jude Bellingham, and a few others who provide an immediate channel of banter and reassurance, and those early bonds have been visible and genuine. Yet, the effect has been to create a small orbit rather than a full integration with the broader group. That human pattern has not escaped coaching staff or supporters. Coaches understand that cultural transition takes time, and Xabi Alonso has publicly praised the player's qualities while also urging patience and calm as the adaptation continues, a measured stance that balances encouragement with a strict performance expectations. See, for a club whose identity is as much about cohesion as it is about individual brilliance, the concern is pragmatic. Selection and chemistry feed one another. Practically speaking, Trent's minutes have been modest in the first competitive weeks. He lasted 68 minutes in the La Liga match against Osasuna before the veteran Dani Carvajal returned to the flank. And in another fixture, he played only a few minutes. Small figures that have intensified the conversation about form, role and readiness. The scrutiny is not just statistic. In Madrid, every social pattern can be read as a sign. Who sits where in the canteen, who jokes in which tongue, who disappears into meetings with translators. When a high-profile signing clusters with fellow English speakers, it's natural for observers to wonder whether that grouping is comfort or separation, warmth or looming isolation. For Trent, the route forward is obvious in concept and difficult in practice. More Spanish classes, deliberate participation in team rituals, and the small, repeated acts that dissolve foreignness into familiarity. He has shown initiative in public and private, learning phrases, answering in Spanish during media duties, and attending extra briefings, actions that signal willingness to assimilate rather than withdraw. So yet the club's context amplifies everything. Dani Carvajal's presence and fitness recovery represent legitimate competition and a cultural touchstone, a reminder that the role of the Madrid right-back has its own expectations and language beyond tactics. The veteran embodies institutional memory and nightly conversations that have nothing to do with statistics. The wider implication for Madrid is delicate. Does the club have the patience to convert a superstar's raw gifts into long-term belonging, or will impatience and commentary accelerate a narrative that values fit over flair? Leadership appears willing to invest time, but in elite sport patience is fragile, ample when wins pile up, quickly eroded when results falter. At the human level, this is a story about translation, literal and metaphorical. Footballers are often judged by highlight reels, but the quieter work of translation, of making jokes understood, and of decoding locker room cadence matters almost as much when team spirit is a competitive edge. For now, the record shows minutes and gestures, a handful of starts and substitutions, a public willingness to learn, and a coaching staff nudging the process forward. If he succeeds, the narrative will shift from tentative outsider to indispensable teammate. If he struggles, it will become a case study in how even the most gifted players can find integration more complex than any tactical drill. Whatever happens, these opening chapters will shape how fans, pundits and teammates read every pass and every conversation for months to come, because in Madrid the social fabric of the dressing room is as decisive as any formation on the pitch.